I, 25F, feel upset with what my husband, 26 meters, gave me for Mother's Day. Tomorrow will be my second Mother's Day. Normally my husband doesn't care for holidays unless he's getting something. So on birthdays, Valentine's Day, etc. he goes out the day of and gets me the first thing he sees. Last year he got me 2 Red Bulls and a card from the display in front of Walmart and didn't even sign it, and I still had to cook, clean, and watch our baby while he played video games. Today he sent me to get his mom and grandma gift cards to a chocolate place, and then said to just get chocolate for myself too, and I feel annoyed. Not with getting money for a gift, but because it was a gift to brush me off, so I couldn't say he didn't get me anything, and the gift is also attached to a chore. He just had 3 days off in a row and spent every day gone from noon 4 am with friends. He had time to pick out gifts but just didn't feel like it. So now, not only do I have to drive 40 minutes away to pick up last-minute gifts for his family while I'm up to my eyeballs in tests, I feel like an afterthought, especially since after 3 years married he should know I don't eat chocolate, so telling me to pick out some is irritating. It's if my gift is cheap or homemade. I just hate lazy and thoughtless gifts. It makes me feel unappreciated and like I'm not worth any time or effort. He could have literally just offered to watch our son so I could relax and I would have loved it. But since he's satisfied gift requirements, he's already made plans to spend tomorrow at a car meet with his friends. Am I just being ungrateful and overreacting? Too long didn't read. My husband sent me money to buy myself candy I don't even eat for Mother's Day as an afterthought because he was already sending me to get it for his mom and grandma. So now, not only do I have to drive 40 minutes away to pick up last-minute gifts for his family, no, you don't have to. In part, he treats you like this because you tolerate it. You need to set the bar higher and ask more of him because he's treating you like crap and taking you for granted. This whole business where he spends all of his time with his friends and leaves you to fend for yourself is something that a serious discussion needs to be had about. You feel like an afterthought because you are one, and you need to require that to change, or it is all you'll ever be. I stopped buying things for my mill about 3 years into our marriage. The first time she didn't get flowers on Mother's Day, my husband changed immediately. They're his relatives, not yours. Also, stop buying him gifts. Am I just being ungrateful and overreacting? No, your husband is treating you like an unpaid maid. He's not treating you as a wife at all, just as a servant he can deploy to do cooking, cleaning, childcare and errands. Why are you putting in all this effort when he's putting in none? If you already bought his mom a gift, I'd put only your name on it and say it's from you. He can do his own shopping for her and you. You desperately need to have a serious conversation with your husband. This isn't really about gifts. It's about his lack of appreciation and respect. I'm not a gift person personally, but my husband shows me in a million other ways that matter to me, that he cares for over 10 years. What is your husband doing to show you he cares? You're 3 years in. Seems a little early for him to just stop trying. Has he always been this awful? You shouldn't ever feel unappreciated no matter how long you're married, but I'm wondering when this started and how long are you doing to put up with it? My 28F uncle, 49M, is fixated on the idea of my husband, 28M, having a mistress and getting him to say he would leave me if his mistress was pregnant. My cousin is pregnant with a married man's baby. It's been a huge scandal in our family, but my uncle has been doing his hardest to convince everyone that my cousin is the real victim in this situation. He thinks that the married man, who has small children with his wife, should abandon them and take care of my cousin and their baby instead. For some unexplainable reason, he has latched onto my husband to try and push this narrative that the married man has more obligation to his mistress than his wife. First, my uncle coaxed my husband into agreeing by not giving him the whole story. I was furious and exploded at him, which made my cousin cry. Now, my uncle is obsessed with the idea of my husband having a mistress. In 2019, we took a family vacation with my extended family. During that vacation, my husband got a lot of female attention. This isn't unusual for him, He has always got a lot of attention, so he's used to it. There was this one particular girl though, that brazenly invited my husband to her room in front of my uncles/cousins. My uncle keeps bringing it up and mentioning how my husband must get a lot of invites like that and traveling alone must get lonely at times. Pre-COVID my husband used to travel a lot and sometimes for long stretches. He also has outright said that my husband is in the perfect position to have several mistresses and he doubts he would ever get caught. He has asked him if he has a second family in a different country and has jokingly suggested he leave if his other wife is better looking than me. One of the worst parts is that two of my male cousins have asked my husband if they can have the numbers of anyone he is bored with because they believe he is fooling around because my uncle is going on about it with so much confidence so often. I'm honestly at my breaking point here. My husband has outright told my uncle that what he is saying is inappropriate, but my uncle tries to act like it's all one big joke. I can't go no contact with my uncle because my elderly grandparents live with him and he won't let me see them if I do. What are my other options here? How can I make him stop? Too long didn't read. My cousin is pregnant with a married man's baby. Now my uncle is obsessed with implying my husband is having an affair and that if he gets his mistress pregnant, he should leave me for her. Both you and your husband need to put your foot down. Anytime your uncle brings this up, say something like, "Wow, uncle, what is wrong with you?" and then leave the conversation. You don't have to completely cut ties, but you do need to give him the message that everything stops when he brings this up and that he only gets to talk to you if he's being appropriate. Yes, this. Jesus, you need to stop being so rude. Or if he says he's only joking, nobody is finding this funny, just pathetic. When playing nice doesn't work, play truthful but not nice. Call shit out. Look, uncle, I get you married your mistress and as a result of your own life choices, your daughter didn't grow up respecting marriage vows and is now a knocked up mistress. I know you think it's entertaining to imagine all the opportunities you see my husband and other men have to cheat, and because you have zero morals when it comes to being married you pretend no one else does either, and that may make you think your bad choices are legitimate. They aren't. We don't find your commentary funny or entertaining any more than you find it funny or entertaining your daughter is going to be a single mother because of your family's cavalier attitude towards marriage. And then, any and every time he starts yapping, just look him dead in the eyes and say stop. And that's the most respectful response or way I can see handling it for you, because the way I'd handle it would be much more explosive, have a fuckload of profanity, and it'd involve telling him to keep his shitty opinions and life experiences to himself. My ultimate advice is to make a huge thing about it. Next time he brings it up, say something like, "Why do you think cheating on your spouse is okay? Is there someone you'd like to tell us, uncle? Is this your way of telling us that you have a secret affair child that you have hidden away, or that your current wife actually used to be your mistress? Let's see how much he likes it." You and your husband, and your mother apparently, have already tried being civil about this. If he can say it to you, why can't you say it to him? Or that your current wife actually used to be your mistress. Fun fact, she did. What did he say when you asked him why he was doing this? It's just a question/joke. Has your husband tried the old play dumb trick where everything that comes out of your uncle's mouth is something he doesn't understand and needs explanations on? It's like when someone tells you an unfunny racist joke and you keep asking them to explain it because you don't get it, when you're actually just letting them lengthen the rope they're hanging themselves with. Me, 35F, broke up with my 34M 2-year BF 1 year ago. Parents still adore him. I'm dating someone new and don't know how to broach the topic. My 35F ex 34M and I broke up a year ago. My family took the breakup hard and were really hoping we'd reconcile. As recent as January, my mom cried because she wanted us to reconcile. My ex and I have stayed on decent terms, speaking briefly every few weeks and genuinely, I think, want what's best for each other. I've started seeing someone new, 36M. I'm very excited about this new relationship. We're both pretty smitten with each other, and he's had accidental brief encounters with my parents when they have unexpectedly come to my house when he's there. My parents know he exists but they don't ask about him, and it seems we're all tiptoeing around the topic. I really want my parents to be welcoming and open to him and not keep holding on to the idea of my ex. How do I do this? Too long didn't read. Parents adore my ex and I don't know how to introduce my new BF to them. Don't spring the announcement on them in front of him, even if they know he exists. Have dinner with them alone, and let them know you're serious enough with your new boyfriend that you'd like them to meet him. Mention some concrete, good qualities and how he makes you feel. Gauge their reaction, but it'll hopefully lead into a nice dinner meeting. I'd recommend a restaurant so anyone can make a graceful exit, and there's an organic time limit. Sounds like you might need to prepare yourself to set boundaries. I agree with others that you should tell them without your BF being there. If they try to bring up your ex, that's when you set the boundary. They're adults, give it to them straight. I understand you liked him, but it's been a year and that relationship is over. It makes me feel uncomfortable and like I can't share my relationship status with you when you keep bringing him up. I'd like you to meet my boyfriend currently, but I need you to be as over my ex as I am before that happens. Or something like that. I learned some good advice from an advice columnist which might help. When you are sharing news that someone else may not like, and they are not impacted at all but just may not approve, don't approach them with, "Now don't be upset," but instead, act happy and stupid, meaning pretend that the other person has no reason not to be happy for you too. It prevents them from immediately getting defensive and reactive, and instead frames any negative reaction as a non sequitur to your happiness and almost irrational. Compare. Mom, I know you really liked X, but I met someone new. Her focus is on X and comparing the two. Mom, I met someone and I am so happy. The focus is on you being happy. Edited to clarify that the advice is in a situation where the person receiving the news is not impacted at all by it, so that no one else gives that this is a gaslighting abusive tactic warning. Need to set the boundary that your relationships are for your life happiness, not theirs. They need to be respectful and realize that you are happy with this new BF and you and ex broke up for a reason. They don't have the authority to make that decision. They can make suggestions, but it is your life and your decision. Have a frank conversation with them about it and let them know your concerns. It's natural to want your family to like your partner, but it's more important that you like your current partner. Your family should be more invested in your happiness and your current relationship than they are loyal to one of your exes. It's their job to be happy because you're happy. Their opinions and preferences are immaterial.